Hello folks, long time no see. Another vlog here from Game Legend Vlogs. Last time it was against West Ham at the end of last season where we beat them 3-1. Didn't particularly go well after that with us getting beat off Fulham and finishing in 12th place, but a lot has changed since then, and we've got Bayer Leverkusen today in the friendly for, I think it's the Malta weekender. I'll be doing the Leverkusen game today. I'm not going to the Strasbourg game. I think the women might also be playing, but I haven't got a ticket for that either. But yeah, pretty mental end of the season. Obviously, Eddie staying for a bit, and then getting replaced by Matthias Jaissle. I know I've probably butchered that. As you know on this channel, I didn't want Eddie to go, but I think from what I've heard, he went on a holiday at the end of the season, came back rejuvenated, because I think he was going to leave at the end of the season, changed his mind, and obviously with what's gone on with Bruno leaving, Gordon leaving, even though that was already in the pipeline, and Tonali leaving, I think he's just basically decided to call it quits there, and I totally understand with that. All I would say to the Eddie Howe brigade is just be careful what you wish for. I'm hoping Matthias is going to do us really good this season. From what I saw against Valencia, we looked okay. Everton was a bit of a different sort of game for her. So it's going to be interesting to see how we line up today against Leverkusen. Obviously Leverkusen a couple of seasons ago won the league and the cup double in Germany, the Bundesliga and the DFB Pokal. So it's not going to be an easy game, I don't think, even though Leverkusen haven't been at their best maybe last season and the season sort of prior to Alonso leaving for Real Madrid. But I'm interested to see the new signings, especially the guy was signed from Hoffenheim, and obviously the Monaco centre midfielder. I'm really interested to see how the Dutch guy Ster, I think he's called, from Ajax, will play. I think he's going to get thrown into the fire with the way we need a midfielder like that. I think he's just going to get pushed into the first team. But from what I've seen of him already, and what I've spoken to Ajax fans about it, because I know a couple of Ajax fans, they really rate him highly, so hopefully he'll come good. Be interesting to see who he plays up front today, because it's between sort of Wissa, Walter and Asula. Asula's had I would say, an okay sort of pre-season. Wissa scoring the 2 goals against Valencia. Walter hasn't been particularly great. The only thing I would say with that is he's been played behind the striker. He's not the striker. I would love us to see Wissa and Walter play together. I don't think I'm ever going to see it, or I don't think it's going to happen. But I would love for us one time to play a 4-4-2 or something where we're going to have 2 strikers. But I don't know. I think the big sort of transfers that we need to look into is a right back, but I think we've just signed a right back from Benfica. I can't remember his name, but he's from Bosnia, who looks alright, and he's played with the manager, currently Matthias. So it'll be interesting to see what he's like, because we needed a right back because of Livramento and his injury issues, but he's coming back as well, Livramento. There was obviously a worry about Hall going, but I don't think Hall's going to go. Newcastle don't seem to want to entertain a bid for Man United to sell him. I think, to be fair, he's got 3 years left on his contract. He's going to go for really high, like above 60 million, I would say, because he's one of the brightest top prospects, I would say. Even though he didn't make the English squad for the World Cup, I think he's possibly going to be one of the best left backs for England in a couple of years' time. But going back to transfers, I think what we need is an experienced centre midfielder. We've obviously signed the right back, and we desperately need a centre back, because we can't go into this season again with Malik Chow, Botman and Shaw as the only 3 centre backs. I know you've got Byrne, but Byrne tends to play on the left sometimes when Hall's not playing. And I wouldn't necessarily play Byrne at centre back, but that's me. Who knows? We might go with 3 at back one time, and we might need that. But we desperately need a centre back. I know we've been linked with one of the guys at Atalanta for a few seasons. I think it's Scalvoni. If I get that wrong, I'll update it. But I would really like us to sign him. And I think we need an experienced central midfielder. I would love it to maybe get another striker, but I think that's asking for a bit too much. But the central midfielders we've been linked with Højbjerg, didn't really want him. But Paulinho from Bayern Munich, I think that would be a really good signing, and for 3 sort of years on a contract, a little bit of an experienced head is what we need in the midfield right now, because we don't have that. Obviously with Bruno and Tonali going, we've obviously got Joe Linton there, but not to be disrespectful to Joe Linton, I wouldn't necessarily require his experience in that middle park, but you never know. Score predictions, just a quick one. I don't know enough about Leverkusen because I haven't really watched them from last season. I know they didn't have a great year last year. I think they might have made Europe. I might be wrong. Or they might have just missed out. But last time we played them, we beat them in the Champions League in 2003, for anybody who remembers that. I'm just going to go for a standard 2-1 prediction. Hopefully we can get a win. I think we need to beat either Leverkusen or Strasbourg this weekend just to get way into that mode against Liverpool, because that's going to be a tough game. In terms of future vlogs and stuff like that, I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, with the Newcastle games, it's just whenever I can get a ticket, which is rarely, or when I'm very lucky with the ballots. I've got people that I know and I usually get a ticket. That's how I got the Barcelona ticket last time. Foreign trips are still on the cards, and obviously if you are interested in non-league, I've got a load of non-league clubs around us, so let us know in the comments if you'd like us to see that as well. In terms of foreign, I might be going to Portugal shortly, so look out for a couple of Portugal vlogs potentially, but we'll see. If that's not going to happen, it might be another country in Europe, but I'll update you whenever that is. Anyway, hope you enjoy the vlog. Let's do this. There's a new pink kit.
Got a picture of Big Nick.
What's you say, Dad?
Got a picture of Big Nick.
I'm already filming them, mate. Nice try.
So what did you think of this first half? But it looks good, quiet, not much happening. The Dutch lad looks really good. Knighton's had a good game. Paul's been okay.
I think Paul's been my best player.
Nothing really happened after they scored in the first minute.
It was nice when we decided to sit down and they scored.
Yeah, I know.
As ever, my dad.
The official attendance here at St James's Park this afternoon is 39,059. A half-time substitution for Newcastle saw number 67. Substitution for Leverkusen coming off, number 10, Malik Tillman.
Oh wait. What? Not meant to be. Come on. Nah. It's not going anywhere.
Shot there, man. Bloody this. Go on, Barnsley.
No.
Put the ball in it.
As today at Leverkusen, and the trophy presentation will take place shortly.
Yeah, I don't think I'm staying for Leverkusen's presentation. Anyway, it's only pre-season. Well, I have to say, a bit of a underwhelming game that, not particularly fantastic from your team. I was right about my prediction, just the wrong team won. 2-1 to Leverkusen. I think they deserved it in the end. Newcastle were the better team after the goal in the first half. And then I think Cho scored the first goal, sorry, for Newcastle. It was from a set piece, funnily enough. We looked alright. And then just after the second half, it fell a bit flat. Not sure what it was, due to tiredness or anything like that. Not enough time playing with the manager. But as soon as Leverkusen made some changes, that's when they took control of the game. And unfortunately, with this format, where you're going to have one team plays on a Saturday, one team plays on a Sunday, Newcastle can't necessarily make those changes. Which is not really an excuse, but it does have an impact. You can't have, like, you know, some of your first team as the subs. But yeah, a little bit worrying. But then again, I was saying this to my dad, I was saying this to a lot of other people, you have to give him time. Yeah, you have to give him time. He's only had 3 games now: Valencia, Everton, and today, and then the 4th game, Strasbourg, and then straight into Liverpool. But we badly need another centre back, I feel. Obviously, the right back is potentially coming in, and even though we've got like the likes of Ramsey coming back and Joe Linton, they didn't play today in the middle. And the new signing, I think it's Bamba, in the middle. They need a more experienced head in that middle part. I think there's a lot of young players in there. I won't be at the Strasbourg game, so it'll be interesting to see how we do against Strasbourg. I've had a bit of time to reflect on the game. Thought in the end Leverkusen deserved it. It does give you a little bit of worry going into the season when we're playing like that. I know he's only had 3 games, the manager, and I'm not putting any blame on Matthias at all. He's been put in a tough position, shall we say, by the owners. I think the owners need to take a little bit of a hard look at themselves this summer, and I would also argue last summer. We didn't have the people in place. Now maybe we do. But it just wasn't a brilliant performance. Me and my dad sat down, they score. It was a good goal, to be fair. And then after that, I think Newcastle dominated the game. And we looked much better, especially for the goal we scored. And then, as I say, the second half came about and we just looked really flat for half an hour. And they made changes. And then Boniface scored. But we really need to get some new signings, and he needs to get the backing. But if we are in trouble this season, which I'm hoping we're not going to be, I don't think anything can really be put on the manager. It's got to be put on how the club's been handling itself for 12 months. And that goes back to the summer transfer window, last window. And I mean, we didn't even bring anybody in January as well. And I would say, excluding the new goalkeeper, Cho today, Hall, Miley, especially in the first half. Trying to think of any other players that really stood out for us today, because I don't think Walter Mada and Wissa did really well. Alanga, again, flattest to deceive. Barnes was okay, but they're not taking chances. It's a big problem in those areas. The one player that has really impressed me, and I really like the look of him, is the young Dutch sort of defensive midfielder, Stoyer. He looks really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he does this season. I think a lot of pressure is going to be put on him and Miley this year. But I mean, we have a number of signings. I mean, it is only 1 game. We have played a couple of other games, like I say, with regards to the pre-season. But yeah, it didn't fill me with a lot of confidence. I mean, I think a lot of Newcastle fans are either going to go into this with the new owners, with the new manager, where a bit of hesitation like myself, or we're just going to go full for it and back him. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not backing him, more the case of like pushing forward to try and help him, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, but and yeah, I know I've been crying out for Walter Mada in the last couple of vlogs, but today, in the 60 to 70 minutes that he played, didn't do anything. Didn't really. You can see the confidence has drained from him, especially since the World Cup as well, and especially what happened in the derby. You can see there's been an effect on him, and I don't think anybody's, going around to him and, putting his arm around his shoulder and saying, "You're all right." I think that's definitely affecting him. He needs some support. But what really shocked me today was Neve came on to replace him, and he did more in 20 minutes than Walter Mada has done in that game. And Wissa was disappointing as well. I know Wissa scored 2 goals against Valencia, and we're trying to get the Wissa that we'll remember from Brentford. The reason I wanted him in, but I also wanted him Buemo as well. So, but yeah, disappointing day, but overall, not a bad day to go out, and when it's like this, it's nice to watch football, even though it was a bit tedious to say. But I'll let you know when I'm do my next vlog. I don't know what that's going to be. It's probably going to be a foreign vlog, but we'll see. But as I always say, I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I think we're almost close to 400. I may be wrong with that. So if you do feel like subscribing, it's free. I'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, take it easy, stay safe, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.